Hi everyone, welcome to Advanced Markets webinar. It looks like we are live. Hey Shobin, you with us?
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Raphael. Yeah, I can see.
So welcome
Great.
everyone. Welcome everyone. We have a chat and a Q&A section. So please feel free to interact with us and let us know if you can hear us. We are going to be live on YouTube as well. We are going to share that link. Okay. So I see that some of you are connecting from Australia. Great. From Asia. Okay. It's pretty
Yeah.
late for you guys. Middle East, Europe, or even some from South America and US. Okay, perfect. I think we are good to go now. So today we are going to speak about SYOB and mistakes to avoid. So for those unaware of the acronym, SYOB means start your own broker. To not be confused with BYOB, bring your own booze. That said, this is not forbidden today. My name is Raphael Ribocourt, and I am Vice President of Sales at Advanced Markets and Fortex, combining both an expertise on the liquidity and technology front. Together with Shobin, we have helped over 150 brokers launch their business in the past 10 years. Please, Shobin, introduce yourself and we can start.
Hi, guys. I'm Shobin Matthew Simon. I'm the Institutional Sales Manager for Advanced Markets. I've got more than 10 years experience dealing with retail and institutional clients. Over the past few years, we have helped lots of new clients to start their own brokerages and lots of existing brokers to generate more revenue by minimizing their costs. So today we will be going through different steps and the mistake that you shouldn't be doing. And there will be a Q&A session towards the end. You can drop the questions in the Zoom message or YouTube message. We will answer all your questions towards the end.
Thank you, Shobin.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so so here it is. We have a lot to discuss. So we are going to try to go through all the topics in about 20-30 minutes, as Shobin explained, to leave us another 20-30 minutes at the end of the presentation to answer your questions. First, we will discuss the current market condition, who should start its own broker, and the importance of your business plan. Then we will go in more details and give you some insight on introducing broker versus start your own broker setups, as well as go through the options and business models you can consider to start your own brokerage. Last but not least, we will share some unique examples and mistakes to avoid that we have seen over the years. So we are going to start releasing polls. First poll should be released now. And Shobin is going to start speaking about why you should start your own brokerage.
Great. So thanks, Raphael. So let's, I think the first poll is out already. You can see the timeline to start your brokerage. So let me explain you a bit about why you should start your brokerage. I mean, in fact, that's the first question you may have asked yourself when you thought about starting your brokerage. Here are a few reasons that I have shortlisted. You know, FX is the largest asset class in the world, around 6.6 trillion per day, compared to the 200 billion in stock markets. So you could, if you look at the current market scenario, the stock market crashed, low interest rates, the stocks are not paying the dividends. Investors are looking for an alternative investments. And with the advantage of FX is there is an opportunity in either way. So this is a great opportunity for the new startups to enter the market. So now there is no limit on growth ceiling. You know, sky is the limit in FX brokerage. According to the recent study, it shows the profit margin is more than 30%. That itself shows how profitable this business is if it's handled properly. Now, the low startup cost. That's one of the advantage of this brokerage. You don't need hundreds and thousands of dollars to start this brokerage. There are different levels. You can get into this business as an entry level. or we can call it as white label. And then gradually you can, get your own server. You can expand your business. Scalable solution, like I said, yes, you can start as a white label with a limited products, and gradually you can have multi-assets. Like, you can have stocks, you can have cryptos, you can have bonds, you can have, lots of asset classes in your business. It's a 24 hours a day revenue opportunity. It's a 24 hours market, Europe, Asia, and US markets. So there is an opportunity 24 hours. Abundance of good traders and strategies available in the market. Yes, there are lots of traders coming into the market. So people are becoming more aware about the potential of Forex trading. It's a leveraged product, more regulated, and lots of traders are entering the markets. They want to speculate their luck in this market. So when there are lots of traders, there is a requirement of lots of brokers. So there is an opportunity for every new brokers in this market, in this business. Now let's look at what's a poll result. So 18% says within the next month, 27% says next 6 months, 27 within a year, 27 not planning to start your own brokerage. Great. They're here for some knowledge. You're most welcome. Yeah, I mean, I hope with this webinar, you will gain some knowledge. You will not repeat the mistakes what others have done it in the past. Now let's look at the next one. Who should start a brokerage? Now I think there will be another poll just to know your background. It will be released now. Who should start a brokerage? Money managers, introducing brokers, asset management firms, financial technology firms, signal providers, and mobile platforms. The reason is these categories has got a book of business. All they have to do is to set up their brokerage, move their business from the other broker to their own brokerage. Marketing companies, they could use their expertise to promote their brand. Appointed representatives, it's time to be independent. Entrepreneurs with FX experience. If you're planning to set up your own brokerage, go for it. Utilize your knowledge into your brokerage and make some good money. Now, Rafael will take us through the next one, which is how to start your brokerage.
Thank you, Shobin. I see that we have some traders, money managers, quite a few with a fintech background. Welcome to the club. I've got a good fintech background myself too. Entrepreneur with FX experience. Okay, great. Great. So now let's get into details on how do you start your own brokerage. We are going to release another poll. But first, you need to choose a jurisdiction where you want to establish your broker and set up your company. So there is a lot of third parties out there providing company and bank account setup, as well as licensing if applicable. Some criteria you should consider when choosing the jurisdiction will be the budget, the timeline, the need of a physical office, the minimum capital requirement. For example, if you have a limited budget and limited resources to launch your broker, but you have a strong clientele that will follow you regardless of the jurisdiction you are in that case, a setup with a tier 4 jurisdiction will be your best choice. On the other hand, if you have a sufficient budget and capital coupled with some clients that require a strong regulation to deposit funds with you, then a setup in FCA will be one of your best options. Don't forget as well that there is different leverage restriction depending on the jurisdiction. Shobin will now enlighten you on the need of having a physical office or not. Let's see if I got some result on the poll. Okay, thank you. Shobin, you can go forward.
We'll go to the next slide now. Thanks, Rafael. So do you really need an office to start your own brokerage? This is one of the most expensive part in an FX brokerage. I would say it purely depends upon your client acquisition method. In fact, some of the regulatory requirement is to have staff and office. In some of the jurisdictions may require it. So that's an exception. But other than that, your client acquisition method is really important. We can categorize this into two: direct sales and digital marketing. Let's say direct sales includes call centers, training institutes. If you're planning to do seminars, or if you are directly dealing with the clients, the clients may like to come to your office. They would like to see, how big the office is. They may like to see face-to-face with the directors or with the salespeople. So in that case, definitely you need a physical office. So when it comes to the digital sales, for example, if you are utilizing the social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or if you're using online portals, or to some extent, if you are just relying on IBs, you don't need a fancy office. You can keep your office requirement very minimum, and you can do the business. Now, let's look at how to choose the right liquidity and the technology provider.
Thank you, Shobin. So let me launch another poll here. Okay, done. Now, how do you choose the right liquidity and technology provider for your setup? With all the options out there, you need to decide what is necessary to have for your setup. We'll go through some of the tools you can add, the various white label solution you can find, and I'll give you some tips to choosing your LP. So amongst some of the tools you can add to your overall setup, you will have, for example, your website, CRM integration, a trader cabinet. I see that there were some money manager, a MAM plugin for your asset manager client, a cashier setup for receiving your client's deposits, to a copy trading that is quite like, in fashion today, to give your clients the tools to trade more and successfully. You'll need to assess which one you want to have at the start and which one you will need for the future. This is part of your business plan. Some of you may ask themselves, but what is a white label? To make it simple, a white label is a branded system that comes with the logo and name of your company on it. You have multiple white labels out there you can choose from. But today we don't have time to go through each of one of them, so we'll focus on the platform that remains the most used nowadays by retail traders, which is MT4. Shobin will go through in details as to what entails a white label setup versus a full license setup with your own server in the following slide. But let me just check the results here of the poll. I see 76% MT4, 47% MT5, some C trader, and some proprietary platform. Great. So now come choosing your liquidity provider. You have so many options out there that compete with similar setups, that you need to qualify your liquidity provider properly to understand the quality of the liquidity behind the offering. Some of the points I will recommend you to look at, but there are many more, will be the safety of your funds, the capitalization of your liquidity provider, the counterparties of your trades, and making sure that your LP, your liquidity provider, doesn't compete against you. Believe me, seeing which bank is on the other side of your trades brings you so much joy and transparency. It's a gem to have. You know you are not on a dealing desk model and your trade is fully executed on the interbank market. Shobin will go in more details here on the following slide and explain you who is on the other side of the trade and the different type of models you can run from an execution point of view. But first, he will give you some insight on introducing brokers versus start your own broker setups.
Thanks, Rafael. So now let's look at the difference between the introducing and the start your own brokerage. So now, okay, cool. So now introducing, you introduce the clients to your broker, they give you a fraction of the markup that's added to the spread. So now with the introduction, with an IB, you don't own the clients, you just introduce them to someone else. And the revenue that you could generate is very minimal. Whereas in a start your own brokerage, when you own your own brokerage, yes, you own the clients, you can have different markups or different revenue stream based on the client's categories or client's trading styles. You can have 1 pip markups, 2 pip markups, and you keep 100% of it. And the business model as well, you can decide what business model you have to take it, A book or B book, so that adds revenue, additional revenue to the brokerage. Now I've made a small calculation here, the revenue calculation. Let's assume, let's go to the previous one. Let's assume your client traded 500 million in trading volume this month. The broker may give 1 pip markup or a commission. That's like $1 per lot. If that says you will receive as a $5,000, whereas let's say if your commission is 0.2 or maybe $3, $4, you're going to get $10,000 or $20,000. Whereas with your own brokerage, you can have a different markup revenue from different clients. So let's assume you can have revenue of 2 pip markup, and you can earn up to 100,000. If it's just 2 pip markup on an average, 100,000. Now let's look at the different business options. Start your own brokerage. We have compared MT4 and MT5. We have used MT4 and MT5 platforms because even from the poll, you have 76% uses MT4 and 46% uses MT5. Let's do the comparison of different options available. The entry level, as I said before, is a white label, and start your own brokerage. It means you can have either a white label or you can purchase your own server. Let's look at what you'll get in both the packages. In a white label, you get desktop, mobile, and web. Even in your own server, you get all 3. The main difference is with the cost. When you go for the white label, the cost is very minimal. It ranges from $5,000 to $5,500 upfront with a minimum, like monthly support commitment of $1,200. For your own server, you have to pay $100,000 up to $200,000 or more, and with a minimum monthly support fee of $2,000. You can run STP and dealing desk model in both PAM solutions and other add-ons, like CRM. You can have all the other add-ons in both white label and your own server. Staffs, you need a minimum staffs in white label because it's an extension of an existing broker. The existing broker has done all the work. You just need a white label and just focus on sales and marketing. So you need, like I said before, even office requirement itself is minimum in a white label. Whereas if you have your own server, you need IT, you need dealing team, you need like more than 10 employees at least to manage your own server. The bridge solutions, you don't need a bridge solution in white label because again, it's an extension of an existing broker. With your own server, you need a bridge. I'm talking about MT4 and MT5 to connect to a liquidity provider. Some liquidity providers will offer you bridge solutions and some for free. Some of them will charge you for that. Hosting, yes, hosting plays an important role in the quality of execution. So in a white label, you don't need an hosting, whereas if you have your own server, you need to host it somewhere, and it has to be in a premium, data center. Otherwise, the quality of execution go down. You may lose your clients. Let's look at the different business models. Area that remains unchanged from the beginning is a business model. With the advanced technology, various options available. The major 3 business models are A-book, B-book, and hybrid. I'm going to go through each one of them in detail now. What is A-book? A-book is also called as STP. You must have heard the term STP, straight through processing. What happens is the broker acts as an intermediary between the liquidity provider and the trader. So whatever trades comes to the broker, straight to the provider. The revenue, what the broker generates is from the markup that's added on the spread or the commission separately. And there is no conflict of interest because it doesn't matter whether it's a winning or the losing trades. The broker generates the profit irrespective of the winning or the losing trades. And this model allows great transparency to the retail traders. Now let's look at what is a market maker. Market maker is also known as B-book. We call it as B-book or dealing desk. What happens is the Forex broker acts as the liquidity provider. They takes all the trades internally. So when the client loses, the broker wins, and vice versa. Different brokers uses different risk management strategies. For example, some of them uses internal hedging strategies, and they match the orders internally, or they manually place the trades with a different liquidity provider. Since most of the traders lose money, this is one of the most profitable business model if it's handled wisely. Since the market maker takes 100% of the other side of the trade, their revenue is impacted by the trader's success or loss. Now let's look at the hybrid model. It's a combination of A-book and B-book. Most of the big brokers use hybrid model. It increases the broker's profitability and the credibility. Some brokers, most of the brokers has got a certain algorithms. What they do is these algorithms can filter the traders based on the trading sizes, deposits, trading frequencies, and the trading strategies. So in my opinion, it's always advisable to choose the hybrid, which could minimize your loss. It enables the brokers, also hybrid also enables the brokers to experience the stability of the A-book and also enjoy the higher profit potentiality of the B-book. Now let's look at the revenue by client type. So I've categorized clients into three: retail, EAs, EA traders, and the professionals. Let's assume the retail and the EA traders deposited $5,000 each. As you know, retail traders trades very low volume. EA traders could be scalpers or high frequency traders. They trade in huge volume. So you could see that, let's assume the markup is 1 pip, which is like $10 per lot. In this case, with a $5,000, a retail trader can trade maybe 1.5 to 2.5 lots, which generates $15 to $25 for the broker. Whereas an EA trader could generate $250 to $500 because of their frequency of trades, high turnover. A professional trades, they are very controlled. They know what they're doing. Their deposits more. Their trading volume is also high, not as high as an EA trader, but still you could expect an average revenue of $250 to $375. So it's very important, like Rafael said before, it's very important when you choose your liquidity provider, because they should be in a position to accommodate any type of clients, whether it's retail, EA, or professional clients. So you have to do the due diligence. You have to speak to the LPs, ask them lots of questions, consider yourself as a trader, and ask them the relevant questions. Now, Rafael will explain about the mistakes to avoid when starting your own brokerage.
Thank you, Shobin. So we have released another poll. I see most of you have less than 50K to start your own broker, and some up to 1 million. Okay, great. So as you see, there is lots of different options and jurisdiction you need to look at in function of your budget. We can discuss that later in the Q&A session, or after this webinar if we don't have enough time. Now here comes the mistake we have seen over the years, and you should carefully listen. First and foremost, one of the biggest mistakes new brokers can make is to underestimate the power of marketing. Brokerage is essentially a marketing machine that acquires, converts, and nurtures leads. There is a full webinar to do on that subject. We are going to actually launch a poll now. We'll see in function of the results what to do with it, but we were thinking of doing a webinar on the subject. Don't underestimate your cost and do your marketing plan. I have also to bust the myth of one-stop solution. So there is no off-the-shelf package that exists out there. that will work to fit your needs, as your business will be set to be unique. You want to be unique, and there is no one-size-fits-all solution. You might have seen companies out there offering you a website and sometimes even 5,000 leads alongside their white label package. But remember that they're offering this to everyone. So your website will look the same as hundreds of others, and the lead lists they will provide will be reused over and over. Another mistake to avoid will be to start on a setup too big for you to handle. I recall one of my clients in the past with over 350 million assets under management and starting its own broker setup. I know it's not the typical small broker, and they had the funds to take a full license, maybe even 10 of them. But still, I explain why they should start with a white label rather than taking their own full license. The reason is simple. When you start your own broker, you usually don't have a team ready, trained, and experienced to run your own broker, even with all the money in the world. Taking a white label will allow you to use an infrastructure and an IT team in place, coupled with liquidity solution. Having a single point of contact is what you need to start your own broker in an efficient and cost-effective way. That particular client followed my advice and moved to their own full license server after 6 months of white label. It's very easy to move a white label to a full license setup. And having trained internally staff and be ready with all the technical process in place, they understood, they planned carefully and were right. The white label was their best option to start with. Another mistake I have seen over the years pertained to a broker that wanted to start with an FCA license but was lacking capital. You have seen the requirement nowadays to maintain a license in UK. If you do not have strong shareholders and capital, you may want to look at a lower tier regulation to start with. Maintaining sufficient capital in such regulation is one of the struggles you could encounter if you do not plan accordingly. Last but not least, one other common mistakes for brokers out there is to not consider the difficulty of cross-margining or doing rebalancing of trades between LP, liquidity providers, when you are doing your own aggregation. If you start as a broker, you will soon see that one of the most difficult parts is to manage your risk and your books. If you spread your liquidity across 3 different liquidity providers without a prime broker or a prime of prime doing the cross margining for you, you will end up doing the cross margining of your trades yourself. Or in most cases, you will spread your clients in different pools whereby they only face one LP. Both doing aggregation without a prime broker or spreading your clients across multiple liquidity providers will put you, your setup, and your client at risk. Risk of running out of margin, risk of market movement when rebalancing a trade, risk of admin mistakes when running 3 brokers into one, which is essentially the case when you do not aggregate your LPs and show them separately to your client. As you understand, your business plan needs to be thought through, and you have many options out there. If you have any question, and I've seen that there is quite a few that came in, please type them in the chat and we will answer them accordingly during our Q&A session. And Shobin, maybe first, before we go, thank you very much for this presentation and everybody attending. And first, before we answer all your questions, Shobin will tell you a bit more about us.
Cool, thanks, Rafael. Yeah, before we move on to the Q&A session, let me just give you a small introduction about Advanced Markets. Advanced Market is a UK FCA regulated and ASIC regulated wholesale liquidity provider. We are primed by UBS and Standard Chartered and is cross-connected to major banks and ECNs. We provide a complete turnkey solutions for professional clients, new startup brokers, existing brokers, money managers, hedge funds, and banks. That includes access to interbank liquidity and extensive list of trading instruments like FX, metals, energies, indices, cryptos, and single stocks cash CFDs. And also we provide a range of front-end platforms. We provide MT4, MT5, and we have our proprietary Fortex platform. And we also provide MT4 bridges, fixed API, and hosting. We also do hosting. We have our own cage in Equinix LD4 and NY4, and which enables clients to access to the FX markets. We are very much active in social media. We have got lots of blogs. If someone wants to get more information, they can visit our website. We have written lots of blogs, which gives you more information about how the institutional FX works. And also don't forget to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram for very informative blogs and videos. And also what I have noticed was when the budget poll was out, more than 50% of them have said their budget is less than 50,000. So in my opinion, you need to have a proper business plan that will definitely reduce your costs. So definitely it is doable to have a brokerage with less than $50,000 if you have a proper business plan. So we are here to help you. If you need any one-to-one consultation, you can always contact us. We have multilingual support team. We can speak your language, and we can support you online, Skype, 24/5. So now let's look at the questions. What was sent? Let's 1 second. Let me open the questions.
Okay, I see one from Steve. So what is the bridge model between a white label and on server? So you need to understand a full license. It's basically a server of MT4, MT5, under which you will be able to provide white label setup. So white label will be basically taking a part of the resource of the full server to provide only to a specific client. Both will need a bridge, obviously, from the server to be executed in the market. So when you have your full license, you need to have a bridge connectivity provider to connect your liquidity pool. Once you have done that, you can provide a white label under your server that will be using the same bridge you are currently plugging on your server. So in a sense, you know, when you have like a white label option, it's all included. You don't have to take care of the hosting of your server. You don't have to find a bridge for your server. You don't have to take care of the MT4 administration part of your server. All that is done by the full license holder. So essentially, that's the main difference. Maybe Shobin, you want to add something on that?
Well, that's like I said before. It's an extension of an existing broker. The own server, the broker, the parent company has already established a relationship with the liquidity provider. So the bridge, so already there is a relationship. They must have used a bridge. So for a white label, you don't need a bridge. It's just the broker shares the groups, or they share the manager with you. So basically, you don't need a bridge for the white label. To have multiple liquidity providers, you know, some technology providers will do that. Again, like Rafael explained, one of the riskiest, that will be really risky for a startup to go for it, because you have to do the reconciliation. You know, that will be very risky. Let's look at the next question. Can we avoid these mistakes by acquiring a white label existing broker and letting them run the back office for us? Yes, you can get a white label from an existing broker. Again, in my opinion, it's better you run your own back office. For your business, you know what your business is, you know your clients, you know what they trade. It's always better you run your back office. Don't if possible, try not to outsource the back office or the dealing part of the business. So David has asked, what is the best aggregation?
Hold on. Let me ask something here
sure.
to Kevin, because so yes, like technically we offer this like even. We actually have our full own MT4 licenses and MT5 licenses, so you can open a white label with us directly and get our liquidity and a bridge complementary. The most important thing on that part is to check which liquidity is being offered. So it's going back to like the liquidity, choosing wisely your liquidity provider. That's what is going to be important for you here when choosing your white label.
Great. The next one is from David. Hi, David. Well, what's the best, aggregation or multiple LPs? In my opinion, it will be aggregation because that avoids the mistakes that you could commit when you do the reconciliation. Also, when you choose a liquidity provider, just you look at who their liquidity providers are. You know, if they are just getting a liquidity from one or two providers, do the shopping around. You can shop around. You can find lots of prime of the prime, regulated prime of the prime, that gives you an aggregated feed from multiple banks. So in my opinion, or my suggestion will be with a liquidity provider, a prime of the prime that offers you more than 7 aggregated, that has got more than 7 liquidity providers. So what happens is not every liquidity provider is good in all the currency pairs. You know, so maybe for example, JP Morgan could be good in euro dollar. Barclays could be good in cable. So what happens is when you have a multiple liquidity provider with you, you could offer better service in all the currency pairs or other asset classes to your clients.
So just to complete that as well, my favorite model out there is like what we call a prime of prime. To access like a true interbank market, you need to have a lot of cash or be a prime broker, or be a prime of prime, have prime brokers that will give you like access to this interbank market. That is like the most important, the best model out there, because you access truly the interbank market with deposit that is not as high as you should have, when you want to launch your own prime broker, let's say, for example, or whatever. The beauty about such setup is that the prime of prime will do the aggregation of liquidity for you and will do the cross margining of your trade for you. Let's say you take a technology provider that offer you to plug 3 LPs and you do the aggregation. If you do that and you show them to all your clients, you are going to have maybe your client going long with one LP and going short with another LP, consuming a maximum of the margins that you have with each LP. You will have to put deposit with each LP. You will have to negotiate different execution fee with each LP. And also when you hit all this margin, you will need to do the rebalancing of your trade, because you will be like long 1 million euro on one and short 1 million euro on the other. So consuming your margin. If you have a prime of prime in the middle, you will be flat. So your client can buy 1 million with JP Morgan and sell 1 million with like UBS, absolutely no problem. You will be flat at the prime of prime level. So that's what we were discussing earlier. Don't try to go into like setups like you want to be your own prime of prime. It's like a business of its own. So take a prime of prime if you want someone to do the aggregation, but don't start trying to do the aggregation yourself.
Great. Good. A couple of them have asked us about the breakdown. What is the total cost with breakdown to start your white label? What broker will you advise to use for white label? I mean, if you ask me for the broker, obviously I have to say advanced markets. But definitely, the cost in the sense, we have explained a lot in this webinar. What are the add-ons? What you should be looking for. So there is no like fixed cost. And in my opinion, don't go for the bundled products, a bundled package, because what happens is when you go for a bundled package, you may not getting the best in all the categories. So what happens is you can speak to, for example, for the liquidity, you can speak to someone. For the payment systems, you can speak to someone else. Get the information, then you do the calculations. And that's why we are here to help you. If you need a one-to-one consultation, definitely we can help you with that. And also the cost also depends upon the jurisdictions that you want to choose. Jurisdiction in the sense, where are your clients from? So, if your clients are from, let's say, Dubai, it doesn't make any sense you having an office in South Africa. You should have an office somewhere close to your clients. So it also depends upon, whether you want to go for a regulation or just say incorporation, or what technology you need, or what are the add-ons you need, And also, like Rafael explained, it's always better to go for a backup for all these add-ons. Like, it's better to have multiple bank accounts, multiple, payment processors. So that will keep you go live for long. And so in my, what I have to say is there is no fixed cost as such. It all depends upon your requirement. So we are more than happy to explain it to you one-to-one based on your requirements. So you can always send us an email, or you can contact us after this webinar. So,
okay, and be careful, because there is no such thing as a free lunch, okay? It doesn't exist. You will find lots of people out there offering white label packages at different cost. What you need to know is simple. There is some meta quotes fee for what is MT4 and MT5. They charge 5K. It's known in the industry. They charge 5K just to put your logo and your company name on a client terminal. Then they charge 1K monthly. That is, their cost. Now you can have white label packages out there where the broker will tell you, okay, I offer you 5 months without minimum, and you know what? I even pay for the client terminal myself. Why would they do that? I mean, it costs 5K, there is some cost incurred in that. It's very simple. They want to catch your business. They want to catch the other side of your trades. Those are people that actually do market making. So they are not interested really to keep you in the long run. If they are interested, by your $1 million that you are going to put on deposit, because you are going to lose it in the next 6 months. And since it takes the other side of the trade, who cares paying 5K? So that's their business model. Don't get fooled by this type of offer. There is costs that you need to pay if you want to run your broker properly, and you have to pay them.
Great. Now the next one, how many minimum clients and deposits to start a white label? Well, the deposits, like I said before, it depends upon what exactly you want. The jurisdiction, the technology is, the white label cost is fixed, $5,000 to $5,500. But the add-ons will differ. The jurisdictions, setting up a company in various jurisdictions may cost different costs, and the add-ons, payment processors, or the CRMs, brokers, cabinet, so that is the additional cost. So there is no fixed cost as such. Again, and also when it comes to the deposit, it purely depends upon your business model. So if you are running a B book, and if you have enough capital, company capital, yes, you can run a B book. But if you're running an A book, you have to transfer the whole amount to your LP. And how many clients you require? If you have 10 clients of $100,000, well, that's really good. That could generate you really good volume. We hope they will do some good trading. And also, if you have 50-year traders, I've shown you the revenue that you could generate from a year trader. Ultimately, what matters is the revenue you generate from this business. You need to generate revenue to keep your business live, and you need to have some profit at the end of the day. So it all depends upon the client's trading volume and your business model. And the deposit, obviously, you can't force the client to deposit $1 million. Definitely, it's all depends upon your clients as well. So again, Rafael, if you would like to add.
Yes, there is another question that come back again and again, and I understand why you all want answers to that question. So let me go back to a slide that we did and go through quite quickly before. Here we go. Everybody wants to know how much capital do you need to start? Well, you understand, there is so many things that you need to take in account. If now you want to know how much will cost setting up a company in a non-licensed, jurisdiction, would be between 3 and 10K. Not even if you do it yourself, you could probably set up a company for $500 or $1,000. If you want to do that in FCA, in UK, well, it's going to be like at least 100. I will even plan 250K for doing it. So it really depends. You cannot answer this question in a general manner, because how much capital do we need to start? Well, if you start in FCA, I will say 500K to $1 million. If you start in Marshall Island, I will say with 30K, you can probably do it. But then after you have like very much important costs, like the marketing and so on. So you need to know where you want to go and how you want to do it. If you have like for sure 2,000 clients that will follow you and you don't have any marketing to do, why not squeezing that cost? But usually, as we explained, marketing is a huge cost that people completely underestimate. And, there is plenty of other costs out there that you need to figure out. So to really answer this, how much capital do we need to start? Well, you could start probably with less than 50K, and you could, do something amazing in FCA for like 500 to 1 million. Okay, let's see. We have another question coming up. Well, that's Kevin. Shobin will reach out to you, and you will just I have not any idea on Shobin's availability, but he will book a one-to-one consultation with you.
Sure. That's exactly what everyone should be doing. Speak to the experts, get advice from the experts, and so that's exactly what we are doing from the past few years. We help new brokers to minimize their costs. Even we can give we can share our experience. Again, that's one of the main reasons why we had this webinar, because we have seen a huge demand for white labels in the past few months, and people are not aware about certain things. So again, marketing, that's something which people will ignore, and some of them doesn't even know how to do the marketing. So we are here to help you. So you can always contact us. You can go to our website. There's a live chat, or you can send us an email. You can email at ussales@amifx. We can leave the email in the chat. So you can always send us an email, and we are more than happy to help you. And also you can find us in LinkedIn or in other social media as well. You can search for Advanced Markets Group, and you can find lots of blogs in our website as well. If you're planning, that's something I want to advise you guys. Before you start your brokerage, go to our website and read the blogs. It is very informative, and the experts have written those blogs. So I hope that will definitely help you. So if you have more questions, we are more than happy. And also there will be a follow-up email after this. And so definitely you will have most of the information in there, and you can also reply us in that.
It was broadcasting live on YouTube, and yes, we will post the record of this video on YouTube on our channel.
Well, FX forward contracts are possible with this type of setup. Well, it depends upon the broker. If you speak to, because like I said before, Advanced Markets offers spot FX, spot metals, spot energies, CFDs. So if you speak to a forward offering brokers, yes, that could be possible. You could white label their platform. Advanced market doesn't offer forwards at this point. At this moment. Cool. Any more questions?
Okay. So don't forget to book your one-to-one consultation with us.
Yes. Yeah. We are available 24/5.
Exactly. Thank you all for attending this webinar. Hold on. There is another question I see coming in here. Maybe we can answer this last one.
It's a hi from Krishna. Hi, Krishna. Yeah, I know Krishna. Yeah. Great. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Take care of yourself. Stay safe.
Stay safe. And yeah, hope to speak to you soon. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.